Captain Smiley! Captain Smiley! Someone is robbing the King Yum's Bank and Trust!
Oh, perfect!
It's not really good news, sir.
I didn't ask you, Gerda. Star, get up!
I'm tired, what?
It's smiling time.
Whatever happens when a comic book is cancelled? Where does its characters go? Well, in the case of Captain Smiley, it does whatever it can to try and get its comic book back. Hey there everyone, this is Ray Carcillo with Classic Game Room, and today we are looking at the newest title from Twisted Pixel Games, Comic Jumper: The Adventures of Captain Smiley. I want to throw on a cape just from the title alone. Comic Jumper: The Adventures of Captain Smiley follows the misadventures of, well, Captain Smiley, a Deadpool-like hero whose fanbase has all but dried up after him and his sidekick, Star, named that because he's a talking star emblem on Captain Smiley's chest, continue to bicker and bumble around in their stories more than doing any actual adventuring.
Look, don't try and think too much. You might hurt yourself.
Finally, after 23 issues, Captain Smiley and his complement of villains, including his dastardly good-looking arch-nemesis Brad, are put out of work. Luckily, the folks at Twisted Pixel have stepped in and are willing to get Captain Smiley back on his feet in order to go out and get his comic back. In order to do this, though, he'll have to take on 3 other comic genres in guest starring roles to garner enough hype and cash to make people become interested in him again. Does Captain Smiley have it in him? Will Star finally get over his body glitter allergies? Will Brad work on his quads or his biceps today? All this and more will be answered next time, dear viewer. Same CGR Undertow time, same CGR Undertow channel. Or we can just finish the review now. Comic Jumper makes fun of several classic comic book styles in a way that will have anyone who has ever picked up a comic just rolling on the floor laughing. From mangas to prehistoric barbarians to the campy Silver Age, Comic Jumper takes shots at all of them in this arcade side-scrolling shoot-'em-up. Like I said earlier, Captain Smiley has a strong Deadpool feel to him, as in each level he'll use his sword, dual pistols, and his fists as he breaks the fourth wall often in each comic cameo he does. Each cameo is broken down into 3 levels, with each level broken down into various checkpoints that try to keep the gameplay fresh. 1 second you're slamming thugs into the background of the 2.5D world that Smiley finds himself in, to shooting vultures out of the sky as they try to peck your eyes out, to slipping into a third-person rail shooter mode before wrapping it all up with a quick-time button prompt sequence. Unfortunately, even with these various gameplay mechanics thrown in to break up the monotony, the game does start to drag after a while, as most of the time you're just holding down the fire button and aiming all over the screen, as nearly endless wave after wave of enemy is thrown at you just to try to amp up the difficulty level. The monotonous gameplay is hidden well, though, by the irreverent humor that Twisted Pixel is infamous for, and that is littered throughout the game. From live-action cutscenes of comic book store owners ripping apart Smiley's comic, to interactive green screen programmers as Smiley tells them how much he loves the newly implemented Pancake Thursdays in the Twisted Pixel cafeteria. You'll find yourself pushing through Comic Jumper's 8 to 10 hour campaign just to hear the next joke.
Who's Captain Smiley? Nobody. He sucks.
In terms of replay value, if you're a die-hard fan of Twisted Pixel, there are some sweet items you can unlock by repeating play of Comic Jumper. From 160 pieces of concept art and pitch drawings, to interviews with the voice actors, and even extra levels of Splosion Man if you're truly dedicated to Smiley's cause, are just ready for your viewing pleasure if you're dedicated enough. Or you can just try the challenge modes where you have to make it through unlocked level sections without taking any damage. Either way, there's enough to keep you playing Comic Jumper for some time after the final issue. The graphics and audio are also very strong for Comic Jumper. Great comedic voice acting from all those involved, and an original score for every world Smiley finds himself in makes for strong audio. And the blending of comic art and video game design gives Comic Jumper a unique and stylized look that is pleasing to look at. If you're any kind of fan of comic books, then you'll find something to appreciate with Comic Jumper: The Adventures of Captain Smiley, and should definitely pick up this downloadable title.